Despite its status as the second longest tenured half dollar in the history of the United States Mint, many collectors have simply forgotten about the seated Liberty half dollar. And in the seated Liberty half dollar series, no coin gets lost among the shuffle more than a design that was struck for just 1 year of issue all the way back in 1853. I'm of course talking about the seated Liberty Arrows and Rays design half dollar. You see, over 170 years ago, back in 1853, the U.S. Mint changed the silver content of the seated Liberty half dollar. And they had to make a new design to differentiate these coins from the ones struck before it. Here you can see the regular front of the seated Liberty half dollar, and what they did was on the back they added rays around the eagle to denote the silver content change. We have a handful of coins from all the way back in 1853 with this rare 1 year of only design issue. They went back to just the arrows a year later in 1854, so this was a true one and done design, giving it a special place in U.S. Mint history of being both a first and a last. It is item number 9053645. 9053645. And while our limited supplies last, we are just $99.95 per coin. Less than $100 for a 170-year-old living, breathing piece of U.S. Mint history. And at that price, we are more than $120 less than our nearest competition for coins that are going to be in beautiful collector's quality circulated condition. And more than 170 years old, these coins are very, very hard to find today. And when collectors get their hands on them, they become treasured family heirlooms that hardly ever leave a collection. Thankfully, we came across a few rolls of these coins while going through a couple of local coin shows and can finally bring this coin back for the first time in quite some time. You can call in at 1-866-518-5933. Or you can head over to our website, abccoins.com. Then at the search bar on the right-hand side of the page and put 9053645. That's 9053645 to grab a living, breathing piece of U.S. Mint history. A 1 year only design struck more than 170 years ago, while also saving over $120 versus our nearest competition. Now, the Kennedy half dollar does hold the status of being the longest tenured half dollar in U.S. Mint history, and with their 60th anniversary right around the corner, it doesn't look like they're going to lose that spot anytime soon. But many are forgetting that the seated Liberty half dollar was the second longest tenured half dollar in U.S. Mint history, being struck for a grand total of 52 total years. However, during that long run, only 1 year was struck with this special design. And that's because in 1853, the U.S. Mint decreased the amount of silver in these coins. It was a slight decrease, but a noticeable one, especially back then when the silver content of your coin was paramount. They went from 13.36 grams down to 12.44 grams. And these new 12.44 gram silver half dollars had to have a new design so the public knew exactly what they were dealing with. Altogether, they would strike a combined 4.8 million total half dollars in 1853 between the Philadelphia and New Orleans mints. That is an astronomically small number when you take into account they struck 155.2 million total seated Liberty half dollars across the 52 years of issue. And now, while that may sound like a lot, because 155 million half dollars is quite a big sum, it's nothing compared to modern issue, or even going all the way back to the 60s with the arrival of the Kennedy half dollar. The Kennedy half dollar, just the Denver Mint from 1964, that uncirculated half dollar has a mintage of 156 million total coins. 1 million more coins than the entirety of every single seated Liberty half dollar ever struck. When you combine the two, the Philadelphia and Denver mints, you get upwards of 400 million coins. So much so that every seated Liberty half dollar ever struck is 2.76 times rarer than the 1964 uncirculated Kennedys. And it gets even rarer when you talk about just a single year. This 1853 had just 4.8 million total coins struck, and even fewer of them have made it until today. If you look at NGC and PCGS's population reports, with coins this old, they don't give you the end-all, be-all with what's out there, but they do give you a good idea of what exists, because what has been seen is what we know to be true. And as of today, NGC and PCGS combined have certified just 4,357 total seated Liberty half dollars struck in 1853 from either the Philadelphia or Denver mints. When you compare that to the 4.8 million coins struck, that breaks down to just 1 in every 1,115 coins struck, or less than 1/10 of 1%. The actual number is 0.09% of the entire mintage. And that's in any condition whatsoever. From VGs all the way up to stunning MS64s and 5s, just 4,357 total coins are known to exist today in any condition whatsoever. We were able to find an 1853 Arrows and Rays seated Liberty half dollar with our competition in heavily circulated condition. So much so you can't even make out the shield on the Eagles or even see the stars in the field surrounding Lady Liberty. They still want over $220 for that coin. All of our coins are in significantly better collector's quality circulated condition and have been handpicked by one of us at a coin show to make sure that they meet our strict quality standards. And on top of that, we are also $120 less than our nearest competition at just $99.95 per coin. We only have a couple rolls of these rare 1 year only design seated Liberty half dollars. And at more than $120 less per coin, they are going to disappear quickly. This coin is a dual US mint first and last, a true 1 year only design. And as such, it is a key to the seated Liberty half dollar series. And more than $120 less, your chance to grab one of these living, breathing pieces of US mint history can be gone before you know it. Call in now and grab yours while you still can.